Medical disclaimer. The content of this podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Nothing discussed in this podcast should be taken as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your physician or a qualified healthcare professional before starting any exercise program, diet, or supplementation.
Guys, what's going on? Welcome back to episode 4 of Iron Insights with me, Brandon Morrow,
Taylor Foster,
and Isaac Bockert.
Is that how you say your last name?
Yeah.
I've never been sure.
Backer.
I used to say Badger.
Not Backert, not Badger.
Badger.
So Bockert.
Bockert.
Okay, I remember that. And it's IS.
2 A's. Okay,
I messed that up too.
Yeah.
It's spelled wrong on my
Right.
phone.
No one ever gets it right.
All right. So anyway, New Year's just went on. What's today? I don't have my watch on.
Second.
Today's
The second. So let's talk about New Year's resolutions, goals. Anybody have any? I've got one for each of you. That you both
Setting our own New Year's resolutions.
I want to hear yours for us.
For you. So yours is post more content.
Definitely.
Yeah, I really think you should. I think
Not more any.
just start.
Just start.
Here we go. What's mine? I already know it.
What is it?
Do a show.
No.
Oh, okay. Whew.
That's one of
Get
them.
a side hustle so you can quit your day
Side
job.
hustle. Be nice.
Be Taylor's apprentice, in other words.
Just no, because I think you could definitely start some kind of side hustle
I think so too.
and like get into something like not stop doing what you're doing, but give yourself some more freedom.
No, I agree.
Your first side hustle could be editing the podcast for us in your free time.
It could be
Could be. Was that a side hustle or was that a side grind?
We'll pay you.
eventually, not at first.
Not at first.
But that's another. I know one of my other New Year's goals is definitely to grow this. Like,
Yeah.
I really want to be consistent with this. Like at least once a week. Once we get to a point where, like, if things start taking off, we can definitely do more than that if it works with you guys. But
For sure.
then, other goal is to hit 300 pound body weight. So it was 290 last night for the first time ever, highest body weight. So that's awesome, which I want to talk about how that feels. Then, as long as I hit 300, then I definitely want to compete this year. Looking at sometime in August probably, and then hopefully one national show, but I will do multiple if it takes multiple.
Yeah.
So that's from a competitive standpoint, goals for this year. Definitely post more content and grow my business exponentially.
For sure.
I'm thinking.
Not too bad. It's better than I got.
What do you got?
I got nothing. I said do a little bit more cardio this year.
That's also one of mine, actually. That's actually one of mine,
Pretty much my
too.
only goal.
I said cardio and abs at least 3 times a week.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's a good
I'm
one.
gonna steal it.
Today I went to do cardio, and like after I said bye to you guys, walked up, and I kid you not, every single
piece.
single piece was taken. I was just like, all right. So I just left. It'll be another. There's more days of the week, so
Yeah, I would have done it, but I was running late here.
yeah, no, that's cool. It's already gonna be
Tomorrow.
late. So
I also have a goal to hit calves 3 times a week.
3 times a week?
Just to bring this one up. Just my left one. I think if I do like a crap ton of calf raises, maybe I'll be able to get this one a little bit better.
I think that's also a
It's
big goal of
actually going off that my actual goal is to be able to do a single leg calf raise on my left.
so background here.
mine. Explain why.
I was gonna say yeah.
Oh, so about 2 years ago, I injured myself, sorta. I don't know if I call it injured myself. I tore my Achilles playing soccer.
It was a pretty serious injury.
The
Pretty serious.
Achilles tear is one of the worst, like if not the worst.
Injured to recover from.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
And it's been 2 years, and I still can't go over my toes on my left foot. But it's also smaller than my right. It's noticeable. It's not terrible. Could be worse.
It's gonna mess with your head.
It's messing with my head. So if I can get up, I have no problem doing any lifts except calves. It's the only thing that only affects. But I'm hoping by the end of this year, honestly, sooner, maybe, should be able to do a single leg calf raise and get it huge.
Yeah.
Put some synthol in there.
I don't think that'll help.
Help the size.
Maybe. You got anything for this year?
Yeah, I got a bunch, actually. I have a very long list.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, definitely start being consistent, posting on social media regularly. Definitely expand, my coaching business, which I feel like I've done a little bit each year that I've been doing it, but this year I want to make it, exponentially grow, and I think posting is a big part of that.
I agree.
Because up to this point, it's been a lot of word of mouth in the area and stuff, which has worked, but it has a lot more room for potential, and I definitely could put a lot more effort into it. From a competitive standpoint, definitely obviously make my pro debut, and in addition, kind of like you said, with doing as many national shows as you need to go pro, I want to do as many pro shows as needed to get to the Olympia. So I'm going to map out a few probably in the summertime and do those, see how it goes, and then, the goal is to win and go to the Olympia.
Yeah.
So that's from a competitive standpoint. So I have business goals, competitive goals, and then obviously, just be able to help others in any way I can. Obviously, it's important. I feel like we're all helping each other out in different ways, stuff like that. In regards to training, as far as what I want to improve and what I feel my physique needs the most is legs. Hence why we train legs together every week. And really probably something I've been lacking this off season, honestly, which I could have been better on, is just the frequency of ab and calf training. At the end of my workout, I've been a little lazy and I just gotta go eat. The workouts have been great, the strength's been great, but I definitely could be consistent with the little, nitty gritty details and just enhancing those body parts. Obviously, sometimes we get, not forgetful, just a little lazy with those things. Then when prep time comes, we're all about it. But I think the key to making real progress is to be consistent before that. So that's something I'm going to start doing now during my maintenance period of training, really hammering those body parts. So I'm in a good place before I start prep.
I think that's smart. It's one of the biggest things I definitely noticed that I need to do in the off season is core. And then prior to this year, I've never trained glutes isolated at all. So that's a big thing.
That's definitely a big part. Yep.
Yeah. So doing that, I'm sure will have a big difference.
Now, how come people say you don't want to train core? You just told me you don't want to train core.
I told you I don't want to train core because my abs cramp.
Well, is there a thing that's too blocky for abs?
I would argue.
Or it makes your waist bigger?
No, to be honest, I would argue the opposite. I would say you lose abdominal control on stage if you don't have conditioned abs.
So you're saying it's better to get blocky abs compared to being a slim waist?
No, I'm arguing the point that I think your waist will be slimmer if you train core more consistently because it gives you better control over your midsection. Contrary to what most people would think, I don't think that's true at all.
No.
I think the guys that prioritize ab training have the best core on stage.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think a lot of the blocky waist
is genetic.
Yeah, first of all genetic, but also overeating, distended stomach, more from a digestion perspective as well as supplements and things like that are going to cause that to happen versus training abs too much.
Oh. I just remember someone telling me.
Yeah, no, I feel like people have definitely told me that too.
It's just one of those misconceptions you hear about. Just like people would say squatting and deadlifting will increase your waist size. You've seen people that have incredible squats and deadlifts, incredible powerlifters have very tiny waists. A lot of that's genetic. And I would, like I said, I would argue a lot of bodybuilders throughout their career that neglect their ab training lose control of their abdominals, and that's what actually leads to having poor control on stage and not presenting them well.
Yep.
Makes sense.
It's a good question, though.
I do them almost every other day.
Yeah, I need to.
You should.
Yeah. So is that what? Do you have anything else to touch on with the goals?
That covers most of it.
Okay, nice. Those are good goals. I think the last one too about helping other people and just. I feel it's a thought that I have and a theory that I have, and I've always tried to utilize, especially whenever you're at the end of your work day, it's time to go home, but somebody's asking you questions, it's making you late, things like that. Something I always try to keep in mind is you'll never fall behind trying to help somebody else.
Yeah.
So that's one of my leading principles, morals that I'm always keeping at the front of my mind. So if I'm ever frustrated with someone bothering me during a workout or things like that, it really bothers me whenever these pro bodybuilders, or even not pros, but just popular people in general, that other people look up to in the gym, kind of are almost like dicks to the people that look up to them.
Well, they're spoiled. And what I mean by that is you should always be honored and humbled by the fact that people value your advice. So you should take that as the biggest compliment, because there's a lot of people that nobody would ever ask them for advice. And I don't just mean gym advice, business advice, lifestyle advice, relationship advice. You know, the more people value your opinion, that's a testament to who you are as a person. And I feel like you should always be humbled and really appreciative of that. And anytime someone asks, like, you know, my advice or wants to pick my brain, I'm happy to help, because you got to put yourself in their shoes. What if I was this person? I need advice from someone else. Would I want them to rush me and feel like I'm bothering them? You know what I mean? Yeah. Now, there's etiquette, too, in the gym. If someone's in the middle of a set, respect that and give them their space. You know what I mean?
Yep. I've literally had someone try to wave their hand in front of my face to get my attention.
While you have your headphones
While I'm going to have my headphones in, hood up, in the middle of a leg press. And I'm like, what can possibly be so important that you need my attention right now? Like, then I'm pissed. Yeah. But if, like, I'm in between sets and I'm just, like, chilling, especially if I don't have headphones in and someone comes up, like, I'm more than happy to help people and things like that.
How many sets it was Isaac?
But, like, yeah, it really bothers me that there's people in the gym that are like that, especially when they make their money off of their fans. Like, these are the people that literally got you to kind of where you're at.
So true.
And then you just, like, disrespect them like that by either blowing them off or not giving them, like, a real answer.
And we're not going to name names, but I can say I've personally seen that. And it is. It's disenchanting, because it's like, dude, the reason you're relevant and the reason you can make a living doing this is because of these people, literally. So the most arrogant thing you can do is not give them your time.
Yeah.
You know?
It drives me crazy. That's why, like, again, like, when I get to that point, like, I want to make sure that I'm not like that.
Exactly.
Because, like, I know what that feels like, and it's just not right. But on top of that, I wanted to talk about, which I don't know, do you guys have anything else to add to that? On top of that, I want to talk about what it feels like to actually be as heavy as we, not necessarily as we are, because I want to dive into this a little bit deeper, but, like, so this will be relevant to
My
you too.
300-pound life.
My 600-pound life.
But, and so, like, relevant wise, like, I just hit 290. I don't know if you hit a peak weight recently, didn't you?
I hit, when we filmed the first episode of the podcast.
Yeah, wasn't it like 297? 298, yeah. So was that the heaviest you've been ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to touch on, like, what that's like. And I think a lot of people think that it's just, like, when you're that heavy, it's difficult. But in my experience, anytime I've broken through a new body weight plateau, it feels the same. It doesn't matter if I went from 200 to 210, 210 to 220, 270 to now 280, or 290. Like, anytime I'm increasing my body weight, there's a period of time where I have to normalize that new body weight.
Yep.
And it sucks.
Yeah, it's not comfortable. But yeah, like you said, it's relative. Like for us, it's like the 290s. For Isaac, you know, you said, what, you're 238 right now?
238.
So, I mean, even for you, if you were to push to like 250, 260, you'd be really uncomfortable. Initially, what was your heaviest body weight you've ever reached?
252.
252? How did you feel there?
Big.
Like, did you feel comfortable? Did you feel like your day-to-day
I wasn't a
functions?
good now I'm a good 238. I wasn't a good 250.
Well, that's the thing. Someone asked me how much I weighed today, and when I told them, they were like, "You're leaner than me at 290 than I am at like 220."
Yeah.
And they were like, "I can't conceive like how that's possible." And I'm like, "Well, the first time I was 290, I didn't look like this." So it's like, it's kind of like a rinse and repeat process when you're bulking for bodybuilding or you're just trying to put size on in general. The first time you reach a body weight, it's not comfortable. Just from a cardiovascular standpoint, you're heavier, you're carrying more mass, you're probably carrying more water retention. You don't feel quite as light and agile on your feet. I might get a little, just day-to-day things are a little bit more uncomfortable. But then I call it like a homeostatic point, where if you hold that weight long enough, your body gets comfortable at that weight. And every time you do, like, I don't just want to speak just in terms of competitors, because there's a lot of people who do this lifestyle that don't compete. But regardless, when you're cutting and bulking, whatever term you want to use for it, you know, that's part of the game. And every time you cut down and you bulk back up, you're a little leaner than you were the prior time. So it's kind of like, as you progress over the years of doing this, you get more and more comfortable at a heavier weight. But you're always going to have to go through that process first where it's a little uncomfortable until your body gets to that homeostatic point at that weight. Right?
Yep. Yeah, once you hit that homeostasis, it's nice.
Yeah.
But adjusting is pretty rough. Some of the things that I've experienced, one of the most annoying ones is, like, I don't constantly walk into things with my shoulder. Like the proprioception is, like, just slightly off. to the point that like I'll just clip my shoulder on doorways, walls, like things like that.
Sounds like a meme.
Well, it's true though, because like when you gain that much weight, like it throws your proprioception off slightly because now you're just holding more mass than what you're used to.
Yeah. Like, when I'm in the kitchen, if like me and my girlfriend are in the kitchen at the same time, I'm like shoulder checking her all the time on accident, and she's like, "That hurt. You need to be careful." And I'm like, "Well, I didn't see you there. It's just my shoulder hit you. I mean, I didn't mean to."
Yeah,
Sometimes you just got to be more aware of your surroundings. You know, you don't really.
Like getting something like sometimes trying to put deodorant on, I'm like, oh man, I gotta reach all the way over here.
Probably the best telltale sign is putting your shoes on.
This is really funny because like right before Haley just left here earlier, she went to put her shoes on, and I was in my head, I was like thinking like, oh, she's about to lean forward to put her shoe on, and she just takes her leg,
props it up,
crosses right over the edge, and I'm like, damn, isn't that nice? And it's like I cannot.
I do that, but I have to like whip it up there.
Oh, you have to whip it and pull it.
I have to whip it up there, like hold it there, and I'm like holding onto it while I try to like put my socks on.
But no, dude, anytime I like lean forward and like almost like compress my stomach, it literally feels like I can't breathe. Whether it's putting shoes on, tying shoes, bending over like to pick something off the ground.
Yeah, I will say for me recently, I think I've got more comfortable. Like so. I guess it's tradition now that we weigh ourselves on this scale here. Before most every episode. And I was 291 just now. But I'm definitely more comfortable now than I was in the 290s the first episode. So holding this weight for a few weeks, I already feel better. I feel more conditioned in the gym. Like I feel like I'm not out of breath as much. But when I initially hit it, I was.
Yeah.
But I still got to say, I still feel better when I'm a few pounds lighter.
Oh,
in general.
No doubt. Just like breathing feels easier.
Yeah.
Because even just like sitting here breathing right now, like so this is like the heaviest I've ever been.
Yeah.
Like it's.
Yeah, I don't want to get that heavy. I'm good.
But again, though, it's relative because like
Oh,
this happens to me like anytime I'm increasing weight. So like, especially like when you're hitting a new heaviest ever.
I used to have like a resting pulse of like freaking 50.
Yeah, me too.
45, 48.
I don't have my watch, but I'm pretty sure mine's like 75 right now. Like my resting pulse.
I mean, it's not bad.
It's not bad. I mean,
I'd sleep, dude, it dropped down to 32.
Wow, that's really
Crazy.
low.
I'd be sleeping.
it's the soccer.
Soccer. Run forever. Just run 8 miles a day. Every day. 5 a.m. wake up. 8 miles. But yeah, I'm good. I'll stay. I think the heaviest I want to get is like maybe 235, 240.
You already said
You're
you're
already
238.
But like lean. Like I don't want to get any bigger.
So really you mean 260?
Okay, well, keep in mind, I compete at 240,
It's true.
or at least I did at my last show. So it's
It's
like
290.
You really think you can get to 240 right now?
It's going to be a hard cut.
I'm gonna have to.
You're gonna have
Really?
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, it might be like I might be shredded and stage ready at 250, and I cut water to 242. More realistically, that's probably what's gonna happen. So I'll make it. I'll probably compete closer to 250.
Yeah.
This past show, I competed closer in the 240s. So
It'll be wild.
shredded 240 is a big dude.
It's
you
a
know?
very big dude. Anything shredded over 220 is pretty respectable. In my
I
opinion.
mean, that's why super heavyweights in amateur bodybuilding, anything over 225 is super heavy. People are like, really? Anything over 225? It's like, well, you have to keep in mind, we're talking a dehydrated and shredded over 220. That's a big dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah. People don't realize.
Well, and that's why a lot of times you'll see super heavyweights at local shows and they're not in shape at all. And it's like, really, you shouldn't be a super heavyweight. You're not, right? That's why the most popular weight classes you see are light heavyweights and heavyweights, because it's hard to be conditioned super heavyweight. It's very hard.
Yeah,
it's not. You'll go to shows where there are no super heavies.
Very common, yeah.
But you have to realize that it's not like other sports where you have a healthy amount of body fat and water. You know, when you're about to step on a bodybuilding stage, you're dehydrated and you have no body fat left. So that's all you're working with.
Yeah, I feel like most of the time at a competitive show, if you see like a really good super heavy,
They're more than likely going to win.
yeah, yeah.
If they're in shape.
That's what I mean. If they're really good, is what I'm saying. So you put them up against the other divisions, they almost will always pick the super heavy. I mean, it's respectable.
Yeah. But I say more often than not, most shows you go to, it will be a light heavyweight or a heavyweight that wins.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Good for that?
Yeah.
So, Brandon had a rant. What was that?
was
New
on
Year's
New
Eve.
Year's.
New Year's Eve.
A day ago.
A day and a half, something like that.
Day and a half.
So we definitely want to touch on that.
I don't even remember the rant, not gonna lie.
I remember some of it, but
Well, I have a lot of rants actually that I could go on.
just have a Brandon's rant episode.
The first, I think the rant you guys are thinking of is, well, I guess I'll give the backstory. I'm not going to say names or anything. I'm not going to say what gym because I don't want to, put anyone's name out there. But Isaac's like about to cough and say the name. Not here.
I don't even know who you're talking
No.
about.
A kid came up to me in the gym, and this has happened many times, but this is just the most recent example. He told me how he planned on competing and doing a show. And he was like, "Yeah, I'm thinking about what to enter. Should I enter the open? It's really my first. It's his first. It's going to be his first show ever." So he's like, "Yeah, I don't even know if I want to enter the novice though. I think I just want to do the open, see where I stand." And I said to him, for lack of a better term, you're going to get your ass kicked. And I wasn't saying that in a mean way at all. I was saying that in you need to go into a show expecting to win. You need to train. You need to do your cardio. You need to follow your diet as if you're going to win, because otherwise you're not going to do everything in your power to do that. So you always have to go into a show wanting to win and hoping to win and working as if you're going to do that. But the reality is, and a lot of people don't ever think of this. First off, there's no such thing as a state or regional level show. Now, why do I say that? Okay, I'll give you an example. The PA Muscle Show that you and I did, there were competitors from I don't know how many states, but it was several different states. People were flying in from all different parts of the country. I would say there's competitors from maybe 10 plus states there.
A decent bit.
And well, why is that? A lot of these people are people that are already competing at the national level for their pro card, but they need to regain qualification. A lot of these people, even though it's called the Pennsylvania show, it's not just people from Pennsylvania. It's people, like I said, from multiple different states and regions of the country. And it's timed right before the North Americans, which is one of the biggest shows in the country. So it's a perfect opportunity for people to get their last minute qualification and then compete at that show in hopes of turning pro. So what I mean is, when someone says, I'm going to do a state level bodybuilding show, a regional level bodybuilding show, or I'm going to do the Lehigh Valley Championships. Okay, well, when you do the Lehigh Valley Championships, it's not just people from the Lehigh Valley. It's people from New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida. There's going to be a couple, from surrounding areas on the East Coast. So even though it's called the Lehigh Valley Championships, it's a lot more than people from the Lehigh Valley. When you do the Pennsylvania States or the PA Muscle, okay, it's called a PA show, but you're getting people from all over the country. So it's not literally a PA show. So that's the thing a lot of competitors need to keep in mind. There's no such thing as a local or state level show. You're always going to get more people than that. And that's good because it's more competition and it shows you where you stand. I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all. I think it's a good thing, actually. But I just think some people warp their expectations and they have the idea it's just going to be people from around here. No, it's not. That's never the case in any show. I've never seen it. Right?
Yeah.
Am I wrong?
No, you're spot on. You got to think the bodybuilding community isn't we're in it all the time, so it's all we know.
Yeah.
But realistically, it's not that big compared to the general population.
Yeah.
So there's not really not that many shows. So there's not many shows that line up with your diet, everything else, things you're trying to do. So the actual percentage of competitors that are going to be at this show, it only lines up for so many. So and those ones
Exactly. So they're going to come from all over to do that
exactly.
show. And kind of I already said this but anytime you go to a show, you're going to be also going up against people that have already won overalls at state level shows. And they're just coming back and maybe they got top 3 or top 5 at their national show in hopes of going pro and they didn't. So now they're doing this show just to re-qualify to go to the nationals.
Yep.
So these are people who are already advanced. They've already been doing this and they've already won shows of this caliber. So you're going to have to go through them. Again, I think that's a good thing because it's more competition.
Yep.
Not to say there aren't shows that nobody shows up and it's not competitive at all.
There definitely
that does
are.
happen here and there.
I know you're the same way. It's very frustrating to me because I would hate to have to compete and then not have anybody to compete against.
Exactly.
Winning out of that almost makes me not want to tell people I want, like, because
Yeah.
you didn't win anything.
But
Like,
then there's people that are like,
there are people that love that. And that's like that's what they hope for.
Someone will say,
I would hope for that.
someone,
I don't care about it.
someone, to put it in perspective, someone will make an Instagram post and they'll say, hey, I made first call out at my show. Well, there was only one call out. There was nothing beyond that. So yeah, you made first call out and that's great. But it's like there were no more call outs.
Yeah, or back whenever it was top 5 in the class and they just would put in their bio nationally qualified.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
It's like, what does that mean?
yeah, what does that? It's like, what does that even mean? Like to people that don't know, like that seems cool.
Yeah.
But to anybody that
And
knows,
I get
like,
it. I get
yeah,
it.
I do too. But
it can be misleading.
Yeah.
And then my next point, say you're going to do your first show. You got to understand, this is your first show. You are going to be going up more than likely up against people that have been doing this 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. Those guys are going to be there too, because they're guys that are still trying to go pro. They've been doing this a lot longer than you have, most likely. So what I'm saying is, I was telling this kid, hey, go do the show. Do your best. Train and diet and cardio, everything, prep as if you're going to win. But don't be disappointed in the result, because at bodybuilding, it's first and foremost you versus you, and then it's you versus everyone else. So you need to see it as it's a personal challenge, but it's also up against everyone else. So don't be disappointed if you don't win, because you're just getting started and you're going up against guys that have done this a lot longer than you have, and you got to understand that. So I was just trying to tell him. He was saying like, no, I'm gonna keep bulking. I'm gonna keep bulking, and I'm gonna compete next year. I said, no, compete this year, and get your feet wet and get up there and get the experience, because that's what's gonna make you a better bodybuilder. Mm-hmm. And a component of bodybuilding, I was actually talking to a judge about this the other day. A component of bodybuilding that people don't understand. You hear like this term where people go, oh, by the time you get to the stage, all the work's already done. No, that's not true. Because posing on stage and presenting your physique and posing down, being compared with other people, is freaking hard. And until you're up there doing it, you do not understand that from the outsider looking in. You don't understand how difficult it is going through the poses, and how hard it is, and how if it's close between you and another guy, they're literally going to pose you guys till one of you gives up and is ready to collapse.
Yep.
To decide the winner. So yes, even though people don't consider bodybuilding a sport, and that's a totally different subject we can get into, it most definitely is, because you need experience of competing to be good. And that's something you're not going to learn until you learn the hard way. But it's important to know that and expect it. So yeah, moral of the story, go in as if you're going to win. I keep repeating myself, but it needs to be ironed out. You know what I mean? And it's like, understand it is something, just like any other sport, where you get experience the more you do it. So don't say, oh, I'm going to wait years and years to compete until I'm good enough to win. Get out there and do it. And then when you get that experience, and then after the show, you're going to get some of your best gains, because you're shredded and your body's so sensitive and ready to grow. And that's what's going to lead to a more productive off season. And the thing I tell people is, when you do a show, one of two things is going to happen. You're either going to win, and you're going to be super motivated. Yes, I won. Now I'm going to take it to the next level. Whether that's nationals, whether you're a pro now and you're competing in a pro show, and you're super fired up and motivated. That's option one. Option two is you get annihilated. But the beauty in that is you're even more motivated, because you're like, that's never going to happen to me again. I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure I win next time.
If you have the right mindset.
What about the people who go into a show?
And if you don't, hold on, let me finish. If you don't have either of those mindsets, it's not for you.
No.
And that's that.
Yep.
Those people who do shows, they come out and they're like, yeah, I don't want to go to the gym anymore.
That's exactly what I was just going to say.
Well, then it's not for you.
No, the amount of people that I've seen that do their first show,
It's
like
hard,
2 weeks, 3 weeks, like, I don't feel like it.
well, they just never come back.
Well, I usually they come back, but they take like 3, 4 weeks off.
Well, it annihilates your ego.
It really does. It really does.
Not some people.
Yeah, but like a few things I want to touch on with all that. One of the things I would definitely say, like, you need a certain level of gym experience before you can, at least for the majority of people, there are definitely some genetic freaks, but for the majority of people, you need a certain amount of gym experience and training experience before you can do your first show. Like, I feel like a lot of people think that, oh, I've trained for 6 months, I'm going to do a bodybuilding show.
And it's not realistic.
No, it's not at all. Or they're like, I'm going to join the gym and do a bodybuilding show and have literally never lifted a weight before in their life. And it's like totally not realistic. Whenever you're getting started in the gym, like for me, for example, like when we started young, when did you do your first show?
So mine's interesting. Mine's actually a little unorthodox. So I did my first show when I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. And then I took many years off and didn't come back till I was in my later 20s to compete again.
Right. That's kind of what I want to get at.
So for me, when I did the teenager show, I actually did really well, and I did the open. I was big, but I learned a lot, right? And I ended up kind of like throughout my 20s, I could have competed and done well, and I think I could have went pro a lot sooner. But I kept saying, no, I got to get bigger. I got to get bigger, and I kept procrastinating to compete, and it's one of my I don't want to say regrets, but something I should not have done, because I would have gotten to where I wanted to be a lot quicker had I just bit the bullet and committed to competing and got the experience, like I just said, because I had no experience. And then I came back and I did really well. And then within a year, I ended up winning my first overall, going to my first nationals, and then within 2 years, I ended up going pro.
Right.
But keep in mind, I was still living the bodybuilding lifestyle
the whole
all
time.
the time in between.
Yep.
So it's not like I was just chilling out, and then all of a sudden I came and got my pro card. So there was a lot of work, like behind closed doors going on. And it takes a lot of time. It takes a lot more time than people think.
Way longer than people think. I remember going to my first show thinking, like, not thinking that I was going to necessarily win it, but that I was going to do well. Yeah. Which, again, going back to, like, you need to have that mindset. But
you need to.
Yeah. And I can't remember. I didn't get annihilated, but I didn't do as well as I would have expected. But I was 19 when I did that. And I didn't compete again which I don't know how long it was for you, but like I took 2 years and then compete again at 21, took 2 years again, compete at 23. And then I think 2 years again and compete at 25. And now since 25, I'm going to be competing like every year. And I think once you get to like that certain level, like that's almost what you need to do. Like taking that all that time off, like for us at this point is I don't want to say dumb, but like.
Well, no, here's what happens. So like you make some of the best gains following your show, because like I said, you get that rebound and your body's so receptive to nutrients, and it's like you said. I think, and the advice I give people now is, you should never bulk or cut for too long.
Agreed.
So because the processes feed off each other, and the more often you do both, the better you make gains. So the worst mistake you can make that everyone seems to do is just, I'm just going to take years and just bulk. And then what happens, you get way too fat, you lose your insulin sensitivity, you lose your motivation.
Yep.
Because if you have a target in mind and you do a show, like I said, even if you get your butt kicked, you're going to be way more motivated than if you didn't compete at all. And that's what I did throughout my 20s. In my mind, I thought to myself, I have a lot of potential and I want to be a great bodybuilder. But in the back of my mind, and I'll admit it, I was scared. Because I was like, man, what if I do a show and I just get my butt whooped and all this was in my head and I don't live up to my own expectations. But then when I got, like, I guess wiser, you would say, like, I said, well, I'm going to have to compete no matter what. And the reality check is going to be the best thing for me.
Yep.
So that's why I started competing again, because I said, I just got to do this.
Yep. And
if I get my butt kicked, it's only going to make me want to come back and be better. So I can't just avoid it, right? So you have to bite the bullet.
It's either failure through inaction or action, and you can choose which.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, no, I think, but going off that as well, though, you don't want to be yo-yoing back and forth either, which I also see super common, where people do like a 6-week bulk and a 6-week.
Yeah, you have to commit wholeheartedly to what you're doing. But what I'm saying is, do a bulk for 6 months. After that, you're probably not going to make any more progress. Go and do a cut for several months. Get into single-digit body fat. Then go back into a bulk, and that's where you're going to get your best gains overall long term.
Yep.
And that's why a lot of people, when you see them as an amateur, they're bulking for very long periods of time, and then they only compete every once in a while. What happens to those guys? Okay, maybe they make a little improvements each year, but nothing dramatic. Then you see a lot of people, they turn pro. And once you're a pro, you have to win it overall to go to the Olympia. So you have no choice. So you might have to take a lot of attempts to compete. You need to get in the rhythm of competing more often. What happens? You see guys go pro, and then all of a sudden, over the next few years, they make some of the best gains, and they make rapid improvements every year. And I believe it's because of the frequency of competing and committing to the processes.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yep, I think finding that balance is really important, and not, being stuck at one for too long. Which again, you learn as you go through it.
Yeah.
But I think once you start to really bulking wise, accumulate that body fat, it's definitely time.
It becomes counterproductive.
Yeah, you really shouldn't be for a male 15% body fat. Once you start tiptoeing around that point and getting heavier than that, it's no longer productive. So
for sure. And I think that kind of relays into the next subject, which is fear of failure and people avoiding competing, or even I see people talking down on competitors, which is a real shame. You see a lot of social media influencers and just a lot of, everyone has a guy at their gym like this. Oh, why would I compete when I look this good? Why would I compete when I'm already making money online? But really, that's, in my mind, that's a cop-out. And I'm not saying you need to compete. If you don't want to compete, don't do it. But certainly don't talk down upon the people that do. And certainly don't think that you're too good for that. Because believe me, you're not. And most people that have that mindset would get their ass handed to them on stage, and that's why they don't compete. It's not because they're better than it. It's not because they don't need to. The reason they talk about it so much is probably because in the back of their head they want to. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, why would they be bringing it up so much?
Right.
So, honestly, I want to call the people out who avoid doing it. It's because they're scared. I'm serious, because I see it way too much, and it's like,
get them.
A lot of people talk, but they don't want to make themselves vulnerable. I can take shots in the gym, photos that you wouldn't believe, but when you're on stage, you can't hide your weaknesses. You're in posing trunks. You're going to go through all the mandatories. You're going to be compared with others. And guess what? A lot of people look great by themselves, but you don't look so good next to the next guy. So, if you have the nerve to talk down on people who compete or act like you're better than that, then put your money where your mouth is and get up there. And I think you'd be shocked to see how you do.
Yeah, and how just difficult the entire process of prep is, the entire process of getting on stages, all the stuff that people don't even know or realize that goes into a bodybuilding prep until you do it.
Yeah.
And then as you get more and more into it, how much more can go into it. People have no idea. Even personally, I didn't even know, and I was already in it.
You have to go through it to learn.
That's what I'm saying. People have there's not you literally can't know. I think that's a good point, because having, for example, you, for example, you don't talk down on people that compete. You don't but it's one thing to just say no, I love lifting weights. I'm not really interested in competing, but have respect for those people versus say well, why, what you're saying, why would you compete? That's stupid kind of thing.
That's what I mean. If you're someone who loves the bodybuilding lifestyle, and
because there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, if you're someone who loves this lifestyle and you love the gym and you want to do it for you, that's great. And there's nothing wrong with not competing. I'm not saying you have to at all. But I'm saying the people
who want me to compete.
I mean, we do
but
we're not gonna
Yeah, like we said, it's frustrating the people that act like, oh, I'm too good for that. Why would I do that? I already make money. Or why would I do that to my body? And we all know you're all doing the same shit anyways, to be honest. Acting like you're healthier by not competing. Please, stop. Cut that shit off. That's ridiculous. And, just people that act like they talk down our competitors, they act like they're too good for that. It's I won't tolerate that. And, if you're not willing, like I said, to put yourself to the test and get up next to people who do the process, don't talk down on it.
Yeah.
Don't act like you're better than that.
100%.
You're not.
And I think that goes for anything, though, honestly. I would never talk bad about
it's
any other.
It's the same personality type who sees a nice sports car drive by and they go, oh, well, that dude must have been born into money.
Right. Or
really?
that guy's lucky. Yeah.
Or did he have 6 failed businesses? It took him a decade of trial and error. He went broke 5 times. You know what I mean? So nobody wants to see someone have something they don't and then think it just happened by accident. And it's just a loser's mindset.
Victim mentality.
Yeah.
Yep. And it's the same kind of people that will look at people like us and be like, oh, genetics or gear or whatever.
Exactly.
But you can look at anybody in the gym, and 99% of the chances they're on as much, if not more, than something like what we would use, and they don't look anything like us. Yeah. And it's and influencers as well, especially influencers, it was funny because this is one we were just talking about the other day, but girls who look insane in pictures and whatnot, and the amount of stuff that they're using, and like you think they look great, and then you hear them talking, it's like, holy cow! Like, it's just, it blows my mind. I don't think it's like.
Well, I mean, let's be real. I mean, so many people in like the fitness culture, whatever you want to call it, bodybuilding, fitness, the whole industry. There's a lot of insecurity and there's a lot of double standards. And that's why I can't stand when I hear people like talking down on others, acting like, oh, they're better than that. Or the best is like, I've heard people talk about people who win shows. Like, oh, I would have went up against him, but I'm not willing to take what he's taking, man. He's reckless. I wouldn't do that to my health. How do you know what anyone else is taking? Nobody does.
Nope.
At all. At all. And like, I can't emphasize that any further. Nobody knows what anyone else is doing. So for you to say, oh yeah, that guy beat me because he's taking more than I am, you don't know that at all. And odds are that's not true.
Yep. Just an excuse.
This is something I hide behind.
Yep.
It's a cop-out. I get heated up about this subject.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I like it. I like it. It's an important one to be heated up about. Like,
well, I mean, so here's what it is. It's people ask, okay, why do you compete? Why not just live the lifestyle if you love to do it? If competitions didn't exist, I would still bodybuild because I love to bodybuild. I love this lifestyle. I love what I do. I love goal setting, and I think it's an important part of who I am, and that's why most of us do it, right?
yeah,
But at the end of the day, I tell people this all the time. Competing is the highest level of accountability, and that's why we do it. I can go to the gym and people can see me and say I look great, but if I'm not willing to get on stage next to other people and show everything, then I'm not taking the highest accountability of what I'm into. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Like, you have to give yourself the greatest goal possible. And no, you don't have to do it, but if you want to give yourself the highest level of accountability, that's what you do. You give yourself the greatest challenge, and you expose yourself to the greatest vulnerability and the greatest challenge you can. And I think that's like the spirit of competition.
I was just about to say,
and I hate it. Oh man, I'm gonna go off on this one.
Let's just take a moment.
Brand's
arms look pretty.
Hold up now.
Massive.
Yeah.
The angle. Swear.
But like, when you hear people say, why would you compete for a $5 trophy? Probably my least favorite saying of all time. And I literally am ready to smack someone in the face when I hear them say this.
I'm going to have to start using that. Sup, bud?
Yeah, I'll go off on that in a minute. I actually told someone at the gym today.
Really?
All right, so
hates bud.
No bodybuilder competes for trophies. I don't understand. I've never done a show in my life anticipating what I'm going to receive for winning. Right? Have you?
No.
Like, so you hear like people at the gym and you hear influencers, why would I do that to my body? Why would I subject myself to that for a $5 trophy? There is no bigger cop-out than that statement. What do you mean, why would you for a $5? No one does it for a $5 trophy. I hate it when people say that. That is the biggest loser mentality. Anyone who says that, come get on stage. You don't have what it takes if that's your mentality.
I mean, just to build off this, like, it's like what you said, the competition spirit. It's any sport. Like, you don't do any sport for the trophy. Like, if you're at the highest level, when you're competing, like, number one, again, and it's always you versus you first and foremost. Yeah. And then second, obviously you need competition. Otherwise, like,
it's you versus you first. But at the same time, let's not play this humble, thing. Let's be real. We bodybuild to be the best. Mm-hmm. Nobody gets on stage, it'd be cool if I get top 5. No. We bodybuild to be the best, point blank. That's it. And it's an extremely competitive game, and you have to be a pretty extreme person to do it. And that's why we do it, and that's why we love it. And like I said, again, it's the highest level of accountability for the lifestyle we love. And that's why we compete.
Yep. I think it gets misinterpreted and misunderstood because it's the exact same competitive mentality that is like with an MMA fighter, with a race car driver, like any other sport. If you want, like, you're doing it to be the best. You're not doing it, like, you love it, but, like, if you're competing, you're doing it to be the best. Like, it doesn't matter what it is. Like, it's, and bodybuilding is no different. But for some reason, people look at it totally different, but it's not.
Well, it's because like it's such a difficult thing to do. I think a lot of people can't comprehend that, and they hide behind these excuses and these sayings and these ways of thinking, and it's kind of like a comfort blanket for them to not subject themselves to that potential failure.
That's fair,
right?
I mean, again, I guess in anything, like people can have the same cop out, like, oh, I wouldn't do that. Yeah, but no, I agree. All right, let's hear the bud rant.
Okay, so
What is this? The bud.
this is important. I want to make sure everyone really swallows this, digests this concept. If you're, so and it's funny because this happened today, and I was actually telling my client about it, and we were laughing about it. For some reason, a lot of the younger generation kids like to use the term bud, and they like emphasize it. And in my mind, it's a very disrespectful term. So I have a couple of ground rules.
We should lay these out in the first episode.
We should say this at the beginning of every episode.
Ground rules.
A kid. Well, let me give a backstory, and I've seen this many times. This literally happened today. I was at the gym training my client, and I heard a younger kid say to a guy that was in his 50s. He asked if he was using the bench. He goes, "Are you using that bench, bud?" Dude, I wanted to smack this kid in the face, and I said to my client, "Did you hear that? If someone said that to my father that was half his age, I would smack them so fast." First off, if you're a kid, don't ever call a man bud. Okay? Ever. That's so disrespectful. And you know it. But for some reason these kids think they think they're hot shots. It's so weird. Don't ever call someone older than you or bigger than you bud.
It's important.
And that's important too. So if I'm using a bench and some kid, I don't even care if you're a little older than me. If you're like a guy in your 50s, 60s, you can say it to me and I'll respect you. But if you're like my age range, if you're in your teens, 20s, 30s, and you're smaller than me, don't call me bud. At all, ever. And think it's acceptable.
I do it all the time. I can't help it.
It's disrespectful. It's
The
a bad
problem
habit.
is
You gotta knock it off.
Devic rubbed off on me because he says it.
Does
He
he?
just says it just to anyone.
It's not.
I don't-
So when I'm talking with Brandon, sometimes it just slips out.
Listen, maybe
But like,
smacked.
I mean in the most like, these guys are my buddies. That's the way
okay,
I,
but
you know what I
do
mean?
you know what I mean though?
Yeah,
you know,
there's
like,
a different way to
Do
say
you
it.
ever hear
There's
a
like-
kid say it in a demeaning way almost?
Yes.
Like they're
Yes.
above you.
Like,
or they're talking
you
down to
got a problem, bud?
It's like something you think,
like that,
it's something
yeah.
you say to a kid. You don't say that to a man.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't see it that way personally. But I know what you mean.
okay, what if some kid that was 19 years old came up to your dad and said, "Hey, bud"?
We got that.
Wow.
Well, you would think it's ridiculous, though, wouldn't you? Yeah, it is ridiculous.
It's just, again, it depends. You can tell by the way they say it.
But the tone I'm talking about, a lot of kids say it in the disrespectful tone that I'm referring to more often than not.
Yeah,
So yeah,
for
just
sure.
a rule of thumb: if someone's older than you or bigger than you, you can't ever call them bud. It's just like a fact of life. Don't do it.
It's a fact. I've been pretty good with it. Usually I use bro.
That's a lot friendlier, you know.
Well, I'd rather, like, I wouldn't go up to some 50-year-old using that bro. I'd say,
I
Yeah.
would.
for a 50-year-old, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't say it to a 50-year-old. I would say, are you using that, sir?
If it's a 50-year-old gym bro, though, like,
Sir, I would
It depends how it
Man,
depends how the rest.
dog.
Yeah, it depends how the message is relayed.
Poppy.
man is usually what I probably would go with, like,
Yeah, man
Is that right?
is more respectable.
yeah,
You know,
gym etiquette.
gym etiquette.
all
Have
it
some
is.
have some respect for other people in the gym, guys. Don't act like you're a hot shot. If you're going around calling people bud, you probably don't have the authority to do so, and it's a bad habit. Just don't do it. And God help you if you do it to me.
Yeah, I'm not standing in the way.
I've been pretty good. Sometimes it slips out. It's usually what I'm saying bye.
Yeah, but again, the way you say it's different. There's a totally different.
Yeah, if I'm also, I'm not, like...
Going back to like why bodybuilding, so like you don't obviously like it's tough for me to say because like I wouldn't say you don't bodybuild almost because you live the lifestyle. You
You're
just don't
definitely
compete.
You're definitely a
Like,
bodybuilder.
that's so. Like,
I'm a fake bodybuilder.
no, but there's a difference between a bodybuilder and a competitive bodybuilder.
yes,
Okay, fair enough.
yeah.
It's
So
a
I'd still
different
call you a
level.
bodybuilder, but like, why do you do it? Because that's like why do you body? Because like
Why?
Yeah, why do you do it?
Why do I do it? why do any of us do anything?
All right, if we want to get philosophical,
I don't know.
I think
It's
I think it's an interesting topic to like think about.
So
though.
why do I just work out in general, or is like
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, why do you live a lifestyle? Why do you do it? Like, is there any like deeper meaning? Like, it's just because like a lot of people just say like, oh, relieve stress. Like, but
I've been very fortunate where I don't have that much of a stressful life. Like, I don't really have much stress. Knock on all the way possible. Just the way I was wired, I think. Like, I don't see anything like.
Well, I think
I feel like all of us are like that. Though, like we're pretty laid back.
We are pretty. Honestly, yeah, us three.
I think like I'm not trying to answer for you, but I'm trying to think maybe what I see in you, and like what I mean by that is when I was a kid and I got into lifting weights, bodybuilding, whatever. I didn't even know it was a sport.
Right.
I didn't even know it was a thing. I just learned how to lift weights, and I saw a correlation between wait, I can do this, and like it's a direct like you get out what you put in.
Yep.
And I think just that concept is attractive to people who are goal-oriented people. And I think one of the keys to happiness in life is having goals. Mm-hmm. Whether you make a little bit more money each month, whether you increase your annual income each year, whether you lift a little bit more this year, you're in a little bit better shape this year than you were last year. I think in general, goal setting is important. I think the gym is one of the purest forms of that.
Can't cheat it.
Because you can't cheat it. You get exactly out what you put into it. It's a very direct with your nutrition, with your training. If I'm disciplined with my nutrition, I see more results. Exactly based off how much I put into it. If I go to the gym and I put hard work in, I get the exact results based off what I'm putting into it. And I think that there's a beauty to that in life when there's something that's such a pure example of that. Mm-hmm. And I think honestly, like I get like emotional talking about it, dude. I think like that's like one of the things as a kid that gave me so much like purpose and like self-development, to be honest, was the gym, because it's just that pure, I set a goal and I reach it, and there's something beautiful to that at its core. Mm-hmm. You know?
I was about to say, like, the amount of like passion and like just love I have for the gym in general definitely can make me, like, if I sit and think about it, it can definitely make me emotional. But like,
it does.
That's one of the reasons why it bothers me so much when people disrespect the gym, the gym in general, machines, the culture, the etiquette. Like, it hurts me to my core, because this is what's essentially given me my purpose in life. Like, if I didn't have a gym, like, my entire life would be like not even close to the same. And to just think about that aspect, that like this one thing has had such a positive impact on my life and the direction of my life, and then someone can come in and just disrespect it.
Well, and it's like also it's sad when you see, and especially
Let's see how the lighting.
Hold up. Let's take a second here. What do we got here? Hit a couple poses.
It's a good pump.
Not too bad.
It looks pretty good.
It's a good pump.
There you go. All right, so but like exactly what you said. When we got into the gym at a young age, it was pure self-development, mentally, physically, and spiritually. It's like you're just learning how to set goals, hold to them, and see them through, and commit to them, and get a result out of that. And that's such a pure thing, especially when you find that as a kid, when there's so many negative things to get into in this life, and you find something that's so pure and so direct. I think that's like so beautiful. And then it is sad when you see people that get into the gym for vain reasons, like, thinking they're better than anyone else, thinking they're a hotshot, just doing it for the attention of the opposite sex.
Right.
It takes away from the pureness of it. And when people look, one of the things I always say is, I've seen guys see someone that's like obese in a gym and giggle at them or laugh at them.
Yeah, that drives me.
And that hurts me to my core.
I could hit someone about that.
Yeah, because like in my mind, it's like it took that person so much courage to come into this intimidating atmosphere and take the first step at being a better version of themselves. And I think that's so admirable.
And not to only mention that every single one of us was that person at one time. Maybe not in that same type of
not in that
starting point, but each of us had our first day in the gym.
Yeah, and it's intimidating.
It is.
And it's very, like, to delve into that. Especially, I mean, could you imagine, like, we're fortunate to have gyms around here that they're not just regular gyms, they're bodybuilder gyms. There's a lot of competitors, there's a lot of people that are in great shape, there's a lot of people that have been doing this their whole life. And could you imagine being like an obese person or a total beginner or even someone that's super scrawny, the amount of courage it takes to take that first step and get in there when you're surrounded by what seems like this inconceivable thing.
I mean, imagine some kid walks into the gym for the first time and sees us three.
Yeah.
Like,
but we're the type of people that would admire that and encourage
I
that.
know.
And it's so sad when you see someone, like I said, who's in the gym for the wrong reasons, who's in there because, you know, for vain reasons, and then they look down upon that person. I think that's so pitiful.
I agree.
You know,
100%. And I would definitely say, like, this was my goal at the beginning, but over the course of my journey with weightlifting and just the things I've been able to, like, people coming up to me and telling me, like, hey, for whatever reason, like, you got me started to lift weights.
that's what makes it
like,
so special. Like,
dude, that, I think, is
priceless.
priceless. And to me, like, that's, like, the ability to inspire someone else.
It's like a pinnacle.
Yeah, like, that.
The amount of friends I've gotten to 135. I started lifting in middle school. Almost everyone I had at my home gym, I got into 135. Best feeling ever.
What do you mean? Like bench
Bench
press?
press.
You're getting them started.
Get them started.
And like that feeling you get from like helping someone else or like inspiring someone else, because to even just like go full circle here, the people that kind of did that to us, I'm sure, was people like Arnold, Ronnie Coleman, like people they had no idea at the time that they were doing what they were doing. They're going to inspire people like us, and that we would look up to them, watch videos of them, and things like that. And we're doing the same thing. And at some point, like, it doesn't matter if it's 100,000 people or one person that looks at us and then they decide to change their life because of what we're doing.
Yeah.
Like, that is huge.
It's a beautiful thing.
And to me, I would say like that is probably, because like I asked you like what you're like why, like to me that's like one of my biggest whys is when people come to me in the gym, like either again ask for advice, things like that, or just tell me like that they're just, you know, seeing me makes them want to train harder or be better. What better thing is there than something like that? Like,
Yeah, I don't know. So going off of that, like all that obviously plays a role, but like I really think that like it's very rare to be like addicted to exercise, and I think it's like what maybe like 1% of the population or something like that.
do you mean like negatively, truly addicted, or like
Like if negatively, like if you weren't to do it, you'd literally go you go through withdrawal. And I don't know if I'm at that level, but like I've been active my whole life. Like I wasn't always like lifting. I was a runner at some point. Like I run 8 miles a day. I used to like put my headphones in and get like the friggin' euphoria from runner's high.
I've never gotten that.
Love that.
I've never gotten that.
The most I've ever ran for fun, 15 miles, just because it was just something I love to do at an 8-mile pace, 8-mile-an-hour pace. Like, and then after that, so like I'll tell you, I used to I'd get home from school, I'd go on a run, I'd come back, I'd go on a bike ride, I'd work out, I'd lift, and then I'd pretty much end my day there. But in the morning, I'd still do the same thing. I'd run 5 miles, I'd lift, go to school, come back, I'd run, bike, lift. Isn't that crazy?
No, but I think that I don't think that's an unhealthy addiction, though. I think that's.
Well, I'm just saying, like, and
it's goal setting, and I think I think at that age, it's not just goal setting; it's self development, and it's important to instill those principles in yourself.
Right, but like I didn't get into like lifting. Like I was always like I love to lift. It was just brought up like my whole family worked out.
Yeah.
Having a brother and my dad were both lifters got me into lifting, obviously, and then something clicked where I've been very competitive my whole life. Me and my brother go at it all the time. Where I'd always try to want to be better, and it wasn't until probably got to high school where I was still like tinier. I think I wrestled at like 168 my freshman year, and then I left high school at 220 playing soccer, and then I went into college at 175. I think I talked about this in the first episode because I ran friggin' all the dang time. And it wasn't until like friggin' drama happened in college where I decided to get friggin' big, and that's when I started to take lifting seriously, and that's when I decided to get actually like, okay, screw this, I'm gonna be the biggest person here. That's when I got to 250, and then that just pretty much stuck with it the whole time. Like it's just something like if I didn't work out, even though I played soccer, I still lifted. Like it's just something I never dropped. It's just I don't know what I would do if I didn't do it.
I sorry, real quick.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I always think about. Like, what do people do with their free time?
I don't know.
That don't work out.
I
Like,
still play video games. I'd play more video games maybe. I don't know.
They do now. Listen, one of the best quotes ever said. Idle time is the devil's playground.
It's true.
Because having too much free time And I don't mean like it's okay to relax and stuff and have some downtime and decompress. I mean like literally like you don't like you have way too much time on your hands because I think what happens is you form negative habits. And I think fitness, not just bodybuilding, fitness, any goal, like biking, running, like swimming, like anything you could get into that gives you something you can tangibly set goals with is one of the best things for you. And I mean that in every facet. You know, like the kind of the mantra that my dad and I had growing up was before every major workout, he would say mentally, physically, spiritually, be in tune. Because you're getting a benefit on all those levels. Mm-hmm. It's far beyond just physical. The discipline involved, like there's so many. It goes so deep that we almost have to have a whole other episode just about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just like.
Yeah, it's just It's like. I don't know. Yeah, getting in like I don't know. Like, I just don't know what I would do. It's something I've done. You just feel like you accomplished something. It's where all my friends are. The best friends I've ever made were in the gym.
Well, and where do you want to meet people? You want to meet people at the bar or at the gym?
Exactly.
Do you want to go hit arms on a Friday night with your boys? Or do you want to go get drunk somewhere? Like, no, I'm serious. Like, it sounds funny, but it's totally true.
It is. No, I've only ever had one beer my whole life. Never done any drugs or anything.
Well, and that goes
it's just like when I got to college. And to be fair, like my college experience was terrible. Like I didn't meet anyone that did the same, like had the same mindset as me. But now that I'm at like this gym, I finally meet people who had the same mindset, and it's relieving.
Yeah, and I think like growing up for me, you know, and obviously I don't do anything like this now, but I was like straight edge, like literally all through growing up, and one of the main motivation for that was bodybuilding. Yep. You know, I just wanted to be the best I could be. I never got involved in drinking, smoking, anything like that because I kind of looked at that as a waste of time and being a loser.
And it affects your performance.
Yeah, and you see, and in my mind, I always thought to myself, if I, you know, and I had a bunch of friends who drank and smoked weed and stuff, and growing up, I didn't do any of that because in my mind, if I'm doing this stuff, there's someone out there who's not, and I'm going to meet that person one day and I'm going to face them. And I want to have a leg up on them.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Be the best.
And I think just having that goal setting ability in general keeps you away from vices, keeps you away from things that are a waste of time, and distract you from more productive things.
Yeah, I think having a really big goal that is still attainable, but it's going to take essentially everything of your being to obtain it is extremely important because it's going to lead and direct the rest of your life.
Yeah.
If you have a very big goal, anything that is going to pull you away from that, you just won't be interested in because you have this big goal.
Exactly.
And if it's that big that any of those type of distractions are going to pull you away from it, you just won't be interested.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that's really important. A lot of people like kind of go through life and like just kind of floating almost, where it's like they don't really like they do something. They do like there's no real line for them to follow. It's because they don't have some type of goal.
Exactly.
And it doesn't necessarily have to be a big goal at first, but setting little goals for yourself and working your way up to having some type of bigger goal that is going to kind of direct your life will give you a sense of meaning, I think. And I think a lot of people that...
I would argue that there's nothing more important. To be honest, I think goal setting is the key to staying in a good path in life. Literally.
Yeah.
I don't think anything transcends beyond that. I think it keeps you in line, it keeps you focused, it keeps you healthy, and it keeps your priorities. It's structure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all about that.
And I'll tell you what, I've never felt more, I don't know if you want to use the term alive or like in tune with myself or like good whenever I'm chasing down a big goal. And
100%
like, nothing feels better than like,
it's like enlightening.
Yep, knowing that you're like hustling and working on this goal feels a lot like you guys are gonna understand this, but like once you actually achieve that goal, like think about this with your pro guard, for example. Like probably felt great in the moment for what, like a day, and then you're immediately setting the goal to now go to the Olympia. How long was it before you the time frame between you got your pro card and you wanted to go to the Olympia? How fast?
There wasn't a time.
Exactly. That's my point exactly. The goals that you achieve will pass so fast because you're immediately going on to the next bigger goal.
Exactly.
It's not about getting the goal. It's never been about getting the goal. It's about the process of
Yeah.
getting there and who you become in the process.
Exactly.
And
But
one
you still have to appreciate the goals.
you do
No,
have to
you
appreciate,
should
you should
enjoy
take the
it,
time
yeah.
and definitely appreciate them. But I think the bigger thing to understand is that it's not about the goal.
Right.
It's about the journey and like
And
getting to the goal.
For sure.
I think a lot of people don't realize that, and then I think, like I said, I think a lot of people could benefit from just having a big goal and hunting it down.
100%.
Someone saying, gym, when people come and go, things in life change, but 45 pounds will always be 45 pounds. You just get
Is that
stronger.
Henry Rollins or something?
I don't know. 45 pounds, always 45 pounds, you just get stronger.
Yeah, and also, like, I think it's important to embrace the hard parts of the journey and have that patience, because I think that's what builds the most character and gives the most satisfaction overall.
Yeah, I agree.
Even if you have hard circumstances, toughing it out anyways, and seeing it through thick and thin to the end. And I mean, man, we could, you know, I have some good stories of stuff I've went through during recent preps where there were times where I easily had several reasons where a lot of people would have backed out, but then those were my wins.
Right.
So it's
You
like,
look back and-
what if I would have backed out?
Yeah.
I would have never got those wins. I would have never got that momentum and built up that strength and audacity to keep going. So I think it's important sometimes during the toughest times when the things are stacked against you, is that's when you need to push the hardest. And don't ever negotiate with your inner self. Right?
Yeah. No, I agree 100%.
never-
I laugh because I think the same
Because we all know, we all go through it. I mean,
I end up eating that cookie.
well, when you're bulking, you can negotiate. When you're bulking, you can negotiate a little bit.
Just a little
Yeah, but I'm like, just in general in life, when things get tough, you know, we all have like an inner voice that kind of negotiates. Maybe you should back off, you know, and you kind of almost have empathy for yourself. And I think that's the times where you need to bring out the tougher inner version to take control and kind of
Devil on your shoulder. Eat the cookie.
power through things. No, that's not what I mean. No, I know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Yeah, no, I think it's worth.
If anything, the devil's the one telling you to back down, not take the opportunity. The angel is the one telling you to
Push through it. Yeah, because like it's tough to realize it in the moment, but kind of like you said, when you're going through those really tough
They're
times,
portals, they're opportunities to
yes,
level up.
if you can understand that and understand that like this is what you want because this is what's going to make you better.
You need to beat the final boss to get to the next level.
Yep. It's kind of like it correlates so much to the gym because again, in order to get the progress you want in the gym, you have to go through the pain of the movements and the resistance of the weights, and it has to hurt.
Yeah, it's a perfect analogy for life. Honestly, it is. People laugh at me all the time because I always use like examples from the gym to like give life lessons. But literally, I can't think of any better example.
No, it's so perfect. It's so perfect.
What?
Oh my gosh.
You guys, I think that wraps up this episode.
Yeah,
I think
that was
we should
pretty
save
good.
some for the next. We got some fuel for the fire for the next one. I have some
Yeah.
things in mind, but
No, it was
we've been going
good.
for a while, and we made some really good points. So,
We call this one episode 4. Hey, bud.
hey, bud.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, I like that.
All right, with that, Iron Insights episode 4.
Adios.
Later, guys.